In Newtonian physics, free fall is any motion of a body where its weight is the only force acting upon it. An object, in the technical sense of free fall, may not necessarily be falling down in the sense of the term. An object moving upwards would not normally be considered to be falling, but if a subject is a force of gravity only, it is said to be in free fall. Acceleration is the rate which a velocity of a body changes with time, as described by Newton's second law. Acceleration is caused by net force, which is the overall force acting on an object. The acceleration is directly proportional to the net force, and the net force equals mass times acceleration. Falling objects increase their speed as they fall because their weight pulls them down to earth. They also experience an upward thrust called air resistance, which slows them down. Objects fall faster until they reach their terminal speed, which is reached when air resistance and weight forces are equal. Objects with larger surface areas fall more slowly because they experience more air resistance. What happens when you drop a coin and a small feather at the same time? They both have similar surface area, but the feather weighs less, so it has a smaller force of gravity pulling it down. As the feather falls, the upwards air resistance increases and soon equals its downward weight, so it travels at terminal speed. The coin is heavier, and it has to be traveling a lot faster before air resistance is large enough to equal its weight. The astronaut, David Scott, carried out a famous experiment on the moon. He dropped a hammer and a feather at the same time and found they landed together. As there is no air on the moon, there is no air resistance. The only force of both the hammer and the feather was on the moon's gravity, which made them both fall with the same acceleration. Ways of reducing frictional force. A sports car is wedge-shaped to reduce air resistance and so increase top speed. Lorries and caravans have deflectors to reduce air resistance and fuel consumption. A car roof box have increased air resistance and fuel consumption with a lower top speed. A downhill skier puts wax on skis to reduce friction and so increase the top speed. Acceleration is calculated in meters per second. Therefore, the formula is change in velocity divided by time. The formula cannot be arranged. If you want to find out the time, you can rearrange it by dividing change in velocity by acceleration. Here's an example question. First, write down all the knowns and unknowns. Be clear about what information is given. Don't spend all of your time looking for something that's already been there the whole time. Write down the formula every time. Second law, write down the formula every time before you start. It's a very effective method for remembering formulas. Number 3, write down your working out. Be detailed in the exams, and if you don't, the examiner might assume you cheated and you'll only get 1 mark for your answer as you didn't write down how you worked it out. 4, do not forget your units. If you do, you'll lose a mark. Number 5, triple check your answers with the calculator because if you get the wrong answer, you don't get any marks.
Powered by Video.